Hi everyone, it's Veronica and Lulu. Hi, say hi. I just thought I'd show Lulu in one of my videos because it was so requested, and he's like wanting to run away to go play with his daddy, so I'm gonna let him go. But say hi, Lulu. Can I have a kiss? Oh, he doesn't want to, he just wants to smell it. Say hi, Lulu. Hello. All right, I'm gonna put him down. So I hope you enjoyed the starting of that video, and this video is going to be all about how to find a hairdresser, how to communicate with your hairdresser, how to get the hair that you want. So I wrote a little list and you can see my little notepad. It looks just like Lulu. How funny. So I'm gonna start with the first thing, and it's how to find a good hairdresser. So the way I found my hairdresser is just using reviews on Yelp.com, because when I first moved to Houston, I mean, I didn't really know anyone, you know, that well to ask them like who their hairdresser was, and I just didn't know what to do. So when I first moved here, I had super dark hair, like it was dark brown, and I wanted to eventually get my hair back to my natural color with some highlights. So I just read reviews on Yelp, and I went to someone at the salon I currently go to get my hair done, and then I eventually transitioned over to another stylist in that salon, and then I started to see the stylist that I'm currently seeing because my other one moved to Italy. So the best recommendation I have to find a stylist is to ask someone that you know whose hair you like who they go to, whether it's a coworker, a friend, a family member. Or B, and I know this is kind of bold, but if you see someone at the mall or anywhere in public and she has incredible, amazing hair, whether it's a cut or a color, just go up to that person and say, hey, I really love your hair. You know, could you tell me what salon you go to? You know, what stylist you go to? I mean, most of the time people will take it pretty well and they'll be flattered. You know, you may get the odd person who's kind of like, ooh, what, you know, you're a weirdo, but I mean, who wants to talk to those people anyway, right? So ask someone where they get their hair done. You know, I see it as a compliment when people ask me where I get my hair done and who does my color. I mean, I'm more than happy to tell them because I'm so thrilled with the services that I receive, and I just, you know, think it's great to spread the word and get my hairdresser more clients. So number two, when you finally do meet with your new stylist, the thing that you really want to do is make sure that you're decisive and you come in there with a plan. The worst haircuts and colors typically happen because you're not communicating your desires. So if you sit in their chair and say, oh, like, you know, just do whatever you want. Oh yeah, you know, trim it a little, like, you know, cut my hair. I mean, when you say cut my hair to a hairstylist, that's like their dream come true to do whatever they want. So if you come in there without a plan, you're basically saying do whatever you want. And sometimes, you know, what they want doesn't really align with your vision for what you want for yourself. And if you don't know what you want for yourself, you know, or you don't understand what looks good on you, that could be an area where your stylist could help you, because they're the expert. They can tell you what colors might suit your skin tone. They can tell you what haircuts might suit your hair shape, your face shape. But I like to go in with a plan because I feel like I know what looks best on me, and I just want that stylist to execute my vision for my hair. So communicate your desires in advance. Sometimes you may have to sit down and have a consult, and that's kind of point number three, take your time. You know, if you're not ready to make that big change to a new stylist, ask for a consultation, you know, for 30 minutes of their time to sit down, talk about what your needs are, what their experience is, and really communicate what your expectations are, because the worst thing you can do is not set a level of expectations. And just to give you an example of that, you know, it took me a long time to grow out my hair from when it was blonde, and I was always very adamant with every stylist I worked with that I would be, and I use these words, I said I would be absolutely traumatized if I left here with short hair. Like, I always use the term micro trim. I said I literally like want this much hair cut off. Like, if you cut more than that, I'm going to be extremely disappointed because I am trying to grow out my hair. So you just have to take your time, be specific, and really get your stylist to understand what your limits are, because if they don't understand that, you know, when you say, oh, I want to trim, well, to some people, you know, a stylist might think, oh, well, this person's hair is really damaged, so I need to cut off 4 inches when you were really looking for 1 inch. So be specific, take your time. If you need to have a consultation, then do that first. And my fourth point, and probably one of the most important ones, is that hairstylists are not mind readers. If you say, oh, I want honey blonde highlights, well, honey blonde means probably something completely different to you than it means to your stylist. Or if you say, I want chestnut brown hair, or I want long layers. Well, all of those terms don't mean the same thing, or may not mean the same thing to your stylist as what you have them in your head as. So my fourth point is bring a picture. If you don't take anything else from this entire video, take this point and bring a picture. I'm going to show you an example. So Lauren Conrad on the cover of Allure magazine. You know, her hair looks beautiful. It's a great color, great shade of blonde, really like blended highlights. If you want this, don't say, oh, I want Lauren Conrad's hair color, because they may remember Lauren Conrad from like 5 years ago when she had super blonde hair. Bring in a specific photo of exactly what you want. That way there's no, you know, there's no way that the stylist can think, oh, well, I'm not really sure what this person wants. You're physically showing them evidence of exactly what you want. So I definitely recommend bringing in a photo. Every time I scroll through a magazine, if I find a hairstyle or cut or color that I love, I rip the page out and keep it in like a box somewhere on my desk for future reference. And I also do the same thing with photos on my computer. And just FYI, for those of you who have iPhones, I'm just going to show you on my screen here, if you have a picture, if you see a picture of a celebrity online and you really like their hair color, and you want to show that to your stylist, you can just, from the webpage, like this is the picture of Kate Beckinsale that I used for my current hair color. And you can actually click on the picture on your iPhone and save it to your iPhone, even though it's off the internet. So, you know, there's really no excuse for not bringing a photo. You can bring in a magazine, you can print a picture out from your printer, or you can show them on your cell phone. So definitely bring a photo. And then my fifth point is that, you know, sometimes your color doesn't really come out exactly how you want it. Like, you really love it, but there's a few adjustments that you feel would make you even happier with the result. My best advice is to go back in and get that adjustment. I have done it on numerous occasions. I mean, I've done it before for like 4 highlights that I just felt were really distracting and out of place. Like, I remember one time, one of my previous stylists put like a little too many blonde pieces towards the front, and it was really distracting for me. So I went in and had like 4 or 6 low lights put in, and it completely changed how I felt about my hair. Most of the time your stylist will do this as a complimentary service. I recommend going back in for adjustments. In fact, I really love the way my hair turned out, but I did notice that a lot of the top highlights are really, you can kind of see them, are really light, and I have a lot of lightness just through the top, and I'm sure that will fade over time as I'm washing it and styling it and everything. But I actually may go in myself for a very, very fine adjustment and just have some additional low lights weaved in through the top. And honestly, like, it takes them 20 minutes to paint those in for them to process. They wash your hair and you just go home and style it yourself. I mean, it's not like all over again a salon service. They'll just adjust the color for you, and then I don't make them blow out my hair or anything, because that costs extra for me too. So I'll just go home and blow dry it myself. So please don't be afraid to ask for an adjustment of your color if there's just a couple things that are off. Obviously, if the whole thing is a disaster, or you just hate, you know, you thought you wanted a change and you dyed your hair super dark and you hate it, that's a different story. I'm talking about cases where you and your style, you know, you bring a picture, you both agree on a certain look, and there's just a little bit of tweaking needed for the result to be what you were expecting. And then my final point is always tip your stylist well. If you're happy with the results and you plan on seeing this person, you know, more than once, and you want to continue going to them, always tip them well, because it shows them that you're appreciative of their service, you're happy with the results, and that, you know, you're just overall a satisfied client. Because at the end of the day, what you have to understand is hairstylists don't want their clients to leave unhappy or with their hair not looking good, because it reflects poorly on them. So at the end of the day, you know, they want you to be happy just as much as you want to be happy. So the best thing you can do is give them the tools that they need to understand what you want. So once again, bring your pictures, take your time, make sure that you're looking through a hairstylist by asking other people whose hair you like, and just really be decisive about what you're looking for unless you don't know, and then you can turn to the expertise of the stylist to really recommend something for you. But that's everything. I hope this video was helpful. You know, I know it took me a long time to just like learn how to really communicate my hair needs to my stylist, but this is what has worked for me. You know, I haven't gone wrong in the last few years that I've been using like all of these, I guess, techniques. And I've just been really happy with my hair for the last few years because I've really been decisive about what I want, and really, you know, haven't been afraid to say like, you know, P.S. I'll be absolutely traumatized if you cut a ton of my hair off. Because sometimes, you know, they need to hear that because they don't realize that like 2 inches for you is a huge deal. So again, I hope that was helpful, and thanks so much for watching. And if you have any additional questions about, you know, how to find a hairstylist, or, you know, how to communicate with your hairstylist, just leave them in the comments below. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their weekend. Bye.